Hello, Beattie Boy, Dinosaur News, March 14th, 2023. All rights reserved. Canada's secret civil war, 1978 until, by the real John Beattie. Dinosaur News. Brought to you by the British People's League and friends who identify as such. Contents. JB credentials. National Archive file. Cain, C-A-I-N, Cain number 25 88 42. Canada's Archives. Date 1865. Administrative history. Biographical sketch. Administrative history. Biographical sketch. John Beattie, Esquire, was a political organizer. Scope and content. Item is a letter from John A. Macdonald, the subsequent father of Canada's Confederation, 1867, to John Beattie, a political organizer, relating to the general reception of the Confederation. Now get that, folks. That's Sir John Alexander Macdonald writing to John Beattie, asking John Beattie his opinion as to the Confederation. Continuing. Relating to the general reception of the Confederation. Dated February 3rd, 1865. The letter was written in Quebec City, Quebec, and received at the Barnett Post Office, Canada West, by Beattie. Repository, National Archives of Canada. Witness testimony. Summer of 78 and more witnesses coming out. Fascinating stuff. Thursday, August 30th, 12:43 a.m. Summer of 78. I can hardly believe how it's been covered up for 44 years, but I do, as I was a witness unknowingly until last week, thanks to Mr. Beattie. Thursday, October 30th, 2:33 a.m. Anonymous ANON0767. Phenomenal Dino News episode. Keep them coming. Our people need to hear these memoirs. Truly inspirational. Joe 324 says, August 29th, 2018 at 7:26 p.m. Hello, John. I have a testimony to make regarding this book that you are going to write. This is the second podcast I have heard. The first one being the one published last week. I cannot reveal my identity, as I was part of a secret group, at that time working for the government. As I have left the country now, I can tell you that this was on a much bigger scale than anyone could think. Along with French Special Forces, Israeli Mossad, and Cuban militias, there was a plan to clean the country of certain types of people, starting from Toronto. The Cuban militias were mercenaries brought in to do the government's bidding. They were the ones to get their hands dirty, pretending to be citizens fighting for the government against the other side. After the fighting, they were to leave. The Israeli Mossad were brought in to target high-priority people and carry out assassinations, because the thinking was that if certain people were removed, it would kill the movement and the Civil War. I myself shared a place with the Cuban exiles. Excuse me. Getting my history mixed up, folks. I myself shared a place with the Cuban militias who were speaking Spanish. So we couldn't understand each other much. But we knew exactly what they had to do. I had seen a large shipment of weapons come to an underground military facility where we were staying. The weapons were Russian-made, so the military and the government couldn't be linked to what was about to happen. There are a lot more details I wish I could go into, but for the sake of my identity and safety from the people I worked with, I can only say so much. I am sorry. I can't tell you more at this moment. But I am another witness to this Civil War, and I wish you luck with the book. Chapter heading: Former Toronto police officer confirming the secret Civil War. August 20th, 2018, Tony Smith says, "Thank you, Mr. Beattie. I was alerted to this podcast by a friend of mine. I am surprised and very happy that this story is finally coming out. I was also a witness to these strange activities. I was working as a police officer in Toronto, and we were aware that something odd was happening across the country in late 1978 and throughout 1979. There were agents from the secret services delivering briefings to police officers, including me, to get ready for trouble, although we were never fully aware of what exactly was going on and what they meant by trouble. We were given exact locations to protect in case something happened, and I believe this was across the country. The number of police officers on duty nearly doubled for a year. And having worked in the station for 12 years, I had not seen at least 40% of these police officers before. Police officers in quotes. I also believe that these extra police officers were not police officers at all, but Secret Service agents called in for something that was about to happen. I am so pleased that this has finally come out, and someone is talking about this. I can't wait for this book and to find out more. Thanks, John." Summer of 78 at British Canada 1. Mr. Beattie, you do not have to apologize for retelling our history, a secret history of great white patriots risking their lives to take our country back. Sadly, we have learned how so many died doing just that, and it is in their memory. And in the spirit of revitalization and inspiration that we must continue to tell the story, Mr. Beattie. I am just a tradesman. If that clears anything up for you, I promise, who stumbled upon a crazy event in my childhood. My God, sir, what an incredible period of time. I can't even imagine the stress and fortitude it took from all of you to get that far. The men and women of Canada's secret civil war are heroes, sir. Heroes! The effort must be told far and wide until we fix this mess. Mr. Beattie, God bless you all, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. I could go on with the reading, folks, give you a little bit more tidbit, but going with the adage that attention span isn't kept that long, I think I'm going to cut this reading. Each broadcast will feature these readings until the early stages of the draft are completely read out to you. The script, the draft, has been put on my Facebook. It's featured right now on the British People's League website. Why read it out like this? For one thing, to get it off my chest, to get those who may have missed it. Perhaps the emotionalism coming out from within my soul are proving to you that yes, indeed, it did take place. And people associated and friends and assistants, legally of course, are still in together, glued together as our British-Canadian tribe, with British Americans helping out, Britons from the motherland as well. Until next time, that's it. From the British People's League, John Beattie, from all my heart to your hearts. God save the King.